Welcome back to Average Cox Gaming, and yes, Magmasaurs are absolutely crucial to the game of ARK Survival Evolved for PvP and PvE. Today I'm going to give you a very quick guide on how to raise them and a little bit of tips and tricks to maybe make it a bit easier. So the first thing you need are some Magmasaur eggs. I highly recommend you trade or get some eggs from somebody else, as getting fresh eggs from the volcano on the Genesis map is not particularly easy. But with that said, you do need Genesis in order to raise Magmasaurs, unless you have some sort of boosted server that ambergris spawns, which is the food that they need to raise on. So in order to get an egg, you have to go in the volcano and go all the way down to the lava pits and steal an egg. An easy entrance is at the egg extraction mission, and I show you in the video there. But we're going to talk about raising. I just wanted to give you that quick little tip. So the first thing that you need to raise Magmasaurs is eggs. So to breed Magmasaurs, you have to breed them in lava. So any of the lava in the volcano biome on Genesis works. You can breed them there. Now, there are other maps that the lava doesn't hurt the Magmasaurs. I'm not sure if you can breed them. I would say test it in single player first, because I know they rolled out a few, but I don't know them all, and plus the length of the video, maybe they'll roll out more. I don't want you to put your Magmasaur in lava and kill it. Anyway, so breed your Magmasaur in lava. So the next step is we have to go get the ambergris from the lunar biome. Ambergris is the only food that baby Magmasaurs will eat. It's the only thing they'll eat up until they're fully raised. After they're fully raised, they'll pretty much eat anything. They're like a garbage disposal. So HLNA TP to the lunar biome, or if you have a tech teleporter, which is going to be way better, use the tech teleporter. Now, the lunar biome, if you HLNA TP there, you're probably going to spawn right into a bunch of crap attacking you. There's just crap everywhere, so no matter what, you're always getting jacked up. But if you don't have a tech teleporter that is near ambergris, you're going to need some sort of travel dino. I highly recommend a Bloodstalker, just because when you're floating away on the lunar biome, you can use the webs to like grab onto the ground and stuff. I have a weight Bloodstalker on official PvP. It's got over 2,000 weight. I can get all the ambergris I need, and I can zip around and get to the different locations. All right, so I'm going to show you exactly what you need to get the ambergris. So I'm going to show you a few spots. I'm going to show you a spot I use now, and then I'll show you my favorite spot. So the first thing you want to do is track the mission, this little light of mine. It's a mission in the lunar biome. It's actually a really good mission, by the way, to farm tech chest piece. If you're not on a Genesis that has missions, don't worry. I'm going to give you the coords to this once we get there. But anyway, there's a lot of ambergris in this particular area, and there's also a lunar cave. Now, a little side note on the lunar caves. If you put a teleporter there, you build a base there. Lunar caves in this game are extremely easy to defend online, but they're also very easy to offline, and that's because they're 6 times damage, and there's a couple of mechanics you can take advantage of with the lunar gravity that will really help you wipe these caves. Or if you have a bunch of low-level cloned basilisks, you can just Bassi bomb basically any defense. And Bassi bombing is where you put a C4 on a basilisk, you go underground, and you pop out by like a tower or whatever, and because it's 6 times damage, one C4 will pretty much blow up like a big area around you. But anyway, once you get to this little light of mine, and I'll give you the coords now. So 2127, that's the this little light of mine. So from this little light of mine, you're going to look for this like little steam pile in a crater, a half crater. There's an entrance to a cave here. Now there's 3 entrances to this cave. If you're just going to farm ambergris, don't worry about that. But yeah, this ambergris are these rocks with the green veins going through them. Now there's a couple things to note when you're farming ambergris that's really important, and I'll emphasize it in this video. One is that there are really only 3 things that farm ambergris. A pickaxe, which I do not recommend you ever do unless you're brand new and you have no other way to farm it, because it gets a very little amount. A mining drill, which is better than a pickaxe, but it still gets a little amount. The only benefit is the amount of mobility you have with it. And then an Anki, which gets way more ambergris than anything else. Even a low-level Anki will get you quite a bit of ambergris. So definitely recommend using an Anki with a cryopod. You can buy them in the HLNA store, the cryopods that is, and then you just jump around with your Bloodstalker, farm the areas, etc., etc. Now, a lot of times ambergris, and by the way, follow where I'm going here. I'm looking for this pillar to the left of this like green geyser. There's a really good ambergris spot over here from that cave we just came from. So if you need to rewind, go ahead. But this is a really great ambergris spot because the next spot I'm going to show you, your allies or enemies or whatever might be built in that spot, and because it's a very popular spot, and so you might have to come out into the open world. This spot is really good. So here we go. So all these rocks here, and now another tip for ambergris. You see all those pointy rocks? So there's the little regular ambergris rocks, and then there's the pointy ones that look kind of like a spiral. The pointy ones with a spiral will give you like 2 or 3 ambergris per rock. They're really nice. Now you want to look out for, well, obviously all these creatures, but usually I'll just kite them like to the corner and let them fight themselves. But all these little like plants, spiky, weird looking alien plants, they give you a ton of other resources that you're going to continually have to drop. So you want to find ambergris spots that don't have those plants. Unfortunately, sometimes you're just going to have to farm them and drop them. It's annoying, especially because you get a lot of sap and you get a lot of flint and everything else, and you're just there for ambergris. But let's take a look at this next spot. So this is another lunar cave, and there's your cords. This is my favorite spot because it has so many rocks that aren't next to any sort of plant, and they're so condensed. So down here by the water, there's a lot of ambergris rocks, and even in the water too. Like I'll swim the Anki in the water and farm it. I love this. Unfortunately, on my server, someone's built here now, but this is definitely by far my favorite spot. So you need an Anki. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can just do the Anki and then transfer into the Bloodstalker. If you have 2 people, you can take a Karkinos and an Anki, which is the best method. It's really fast if you have 2 people. Even if you have 1 person, you can still, switch back and forth from the Anki to the Karkinos. It's just annoying constantly dismounting because you float. But anyway, so just to show you like how many rocks you get, this is not like a special Anki. There's no boosted rates here, nothing like that. And this is just like a regular spawned Anki, like a tamed Anki or something. You're going to have better Ankis than this if you've been playing for a while. My Ankis are over 1200 melee once they level. But anyway, so you go into a big pile of these rocks, especially around the pointy ones, and you just swing, and you're going to get a ton of ambergris. It's really great. And that's why I like this cave. It's kind of safe. Yes, there's like a Karkinos that spawns in here. There's a few Seekers that spawn, but that's it. And you can kill the Karkinos with an Anki. Just swing early, and hopefully it'll get knocked back. If it picks you off, no big deal. Just put the Anki on neutral, whatever. But yeah, this cave is really great for farming ambergris. So there's your ambergris. Now, you can transfer ambergris to other servers. So if you just want to come and farm it and transfer it to another server, that's great. Also, ambergris, the spoil timer does reset when you transfer it. Alright, so raising baby Magmasaurs is a little bit tricky. It's not particularly bad, but you have to pay attention. They're not like drakes or wyverns. They do lose food very fast, and the higher level baby, the better, because if they have a low food, or if they have a low weight stat, they won't be able to hold a lot of food, and they're going to eat more. So you definitely want preserving salt. Also, Magmasaurs, they cut the weight of ambergris in half, so when you put it in, it's 2.5. So when it's like a 0.1% baby, or 0.01% baby, you want to put 1 ambergris and then the salt. If you do salt first, then ambergris, it won't work. So ambergris, then salt. That's going to last you for a while, but you need to constantly be checking out the baby, and then as it grows up, you add more and more salt, or more and more ambergris, while maintaining that 6 sack of salt. And salt's really easy to get on Genesis. You don't even really need to farm it. You can just buy it in the store. And once they get on the trough, they're really easy. So 10% does take a while. I believe Magmasaurs are a 9-day raise, so 10% is like 16 hours or something on 1 times breeding. But once they get on the trough, all you do is you pop over, do your ambergris run, you're good to go. The imprints are super easy. It's either ambergris, walk, or cuddle, and that's it. So the hardest part is actually mating them, farming the ambergris, and then getting them to juvie, and then it's kind of all downhill from there. And here's just some clips showing you kind of like how good they are at destroying metal structures. They can destroy any type of structures, but like they do crazy damage to stone. They do really good damage to metal. Their damage definitely starts to taper off when it comes to tech, but that's also because tech takes super effective damage from like tech plasma rifles or tech tech saddles, tech swords, whatever. So tech, Begot's tech, this is really good for metal. Like, explosives are good for metal. Tech is resistant to explosives. But anyway, they're also super good for PvE. So if you never use them for PvP, which you definitely should, because their ranged attack is crazy. But in PvE, they're actually better than the Anki. I have another video on that, but they get over twice the metal of an Anki, sometimes 3 times the amount of metal. Plus, you don't really need a crab. With the Anki, you absolutely need a crab. With this, you just stand on its back and whip, and it's super good. Anyway, so that's pretty much in a nutshell how to raise Magmasaurs. I tried to make the guide quick and simple. If you have questions, just comment below. I'm really good about answering the comments. Sometimes it takes me a couple days, but I pretty much, if you ask a question, I answer every comment. So thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and until next time.